Well, another lawsuit has been filed against former Cincinnati Children's Hospital geneticist Dr. Howard Saul.
So he is already facing federal child pornography charges, and now families are coming forward in civil court accusing him and the hospital of decades of inappropriate exams and unnecessary patient photography. WLWT News 5's Karen Johnson has been investigating and has the new developments tonight.
Well, after we broke the story last month about Howard Saul being charged with federal child porn-related crimes, I received dozens of messages from concerned parents and even former patients. Well, attorneys over at the Lawrence firm in Covington says so did they. Upwards of 100 families contacting them, and they've now filed a civil suit against Saul and Children's Hospital.
We started getting calls immediately
from parents who trusted Cincinnati Children's Hospital and former Dr. Howard Saul with their most vulnerable children.
You know, everybody trusted him. And I think one of the things that's like more concerning to me than anything is these parents are riddled with guilt, because a lot of times they were there when he was doing the exam or when they were taking the pictures. And they're like, how could I let him do this? I just thought he was doing his job.
Parents are now second-guessing themselves. Last month, Saul, who was a geneticist, was charged with federal child pornography crimes. Investigators say they identified more than 153,000 images and 470 videos of child sexual abuse material on electronic devices seized from Saul's home. Even though they say they have not located any evidence that the illegal photos involve patients, attorney Rob Lewis says investigators shared more details with patients' parents.
Some of them were told that they did find pictures, on computer devices in his home of patients, but they seem to be drawing a distinction between patient pictures and child sex abuse material.
A newly filed civil suit accuses Saul of taking unnecessary photos of children and performing invasive exams.
He took a lot of pictures. He was aggressive. He had a poor bedside manner. He did examinations that we didn't think were appropriate.
The lawsuit claims many of the photos Saul took are missing from patients' records.
As nobody knows where these pictures are. They've accessed their MyChart, they've accessed the portal, some of them have gotten their medical records, and those pictures aren't in there. The issue I think that we're going to find is that there should have been procedures in place that any time a picture was taken, it went directly into the medical chart.
Lewis says the uncertainty has parents terrified.
But they're also laying awake at night wondering if, are my kids' pictures out on the dark web? Are they being traded? Are they, on the internet somewhere?
The Lawrence firm's lawsuit was filed as a proposed class action, which means if a judge approves, it could eventually cover hundreds, if not thousands, of families treated by Saul over nearly 3 decades. After his arrest, Saul did lose his medical license. We reached out to Children's Hospital, but the only comment was, "We do not comment on litigation." Karen Johnson, WLWT News 5.